Hey guys, I'm Alexis,
I'm Erica.
and today we're going to be doing a Q&A video. We asked for questions on our YouTube video and my Instagram. So we're going to be going through some of the questions that you guys have. We probably won't go through all of these.
There's quite a few, but we're going to pick out the top ones.
And if we don't finish them all, then we'll do them in a later video. Okay, so we put the questions in the spare canister. I thought that was cute. Anyway.
Alrighty.
Okay, do you want to go?
Sure.
Pick the first one?
Alright, let's see, what do we have? Ooh, best camp food or backpacking meal?
Okay, well, let's do camp food first.
Okay, what's yours?
Mine, ours is probably the same because we always pack this.
Okay.
But like a walking taco. Yeah, so we do like a protein-rich version, so we do Quest chips. I don't know if you guys have heard of those.
Those are really
But then, so you can do and they have different kinds of Quest, but we like the nacho cheese, loaded taco,
spicy chili, and then the taco.
So you just if you don't know what a walking taco is, you get crunch a bag of chips and then you throw in meat,
your
all
lettuce,
the taco,
your tomato, whatever you want, hot sauce.
Yeah. And you just eat it out of the bag, and it's perfect because then there's no dishes. You don't need to bring we always bring a camp bowl, but
no, you don't need anything additional. Just whatever you want, and you toss in there, and then you eat it as is.
And I don't know what's some other honorable mentions. Camp food,
the classic for you on any trail we go is PB&J.
Well, that's
I mean, a 5-year-old.
I do. I do love peanut butter jelly on the trail. I don't eat it just at home, but for some reason when I go on a trail, or even if we're gonna be just camping, I don't know. I just love a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Yeah.
Backpacking food, we have tried lots over the years, and I think we have
the same favorite too.
And we want to do a video taste testing a bunch of them, when we're out on the trail, and we'll compile it all together in a video.
See which ones we like, which ones are the best.
But I think, for sure the oh my gosh, Mountain House makes a chicken fajita thing. I don't know. It's so good.
Teriyaki, they're both really
teriyaki.
Good. Yeah.
Pasta ones are usually not what we go for because you don't like pasta, but I can just make my own pasta for cheaper. So we like the meals that have chicken and rice and veggies. So we'll do a taste test.
The dessert wise too.
Ooh, oh my gosh.
The freeze-dried ice cream sandwiches. They have chocolate, vanilla, and I've seen Neapolitan as well.
Mint chip.
Is it?
Mint chip.
I don't know.
We have all. We have some of those in the.
I don't really like
camp food.
I don't like mint.
I know, but you like the ice cream sandwiches.
Just throw in some crust,
Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna just move on because we've spent too long on that question. Okay. Okay. What's your favorite place you've ever been? And what about top destinations on your bucket list? Looking to add places to my list. Okay, so favorite place that we've ever been.
It's really hard.
I would say I've got 3. So that'll just go in hand in hand. You just said what are the top destinations and then your favorite place.
Yeah.
So I would say Bryce Canyon National Park.
That's a good one.
North Cascades National Park in Washington. And Black Canyon of the Gunnison in Colorado.
That's a really good one.
I think those are my favorite places. I know they're all national parks, but those tend to be our favorite places. But what about you? I'm curious.
I need to pause.
All right, we're back. Our dogs are in here in our tiny house.
I think she found a bug or something. She's just when she spots one,
she's just digging. So I don't know if you heard that in the video.
So I brought her in for the video.
Okay. So we were talking about our top destinations. I said mine. So what are yours?
Top 3 it was?
Sure.
All right.
Whatever you're feeling. What?
I will say Grand Canyon, Crater Lake, and I really want to say I'm gonna say it, North Cascades.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know North Cascades was in your top.
I mean, it's basically anything out west. There's something so different out there.
Yeah, we're going back in October. We're going to go to the desert. So we're excited. So we might have some new places to add to that. But for now, that's what we would say. Do you have any travel goals? I'm sorry, it was your turn, but oh well, I'll just go twice. So travel goals, I would say. Wait, can I go?
It's
like
okay.
I'm taking all this.
It's
Okay,
fine.
I would say our goal is to see all of the national parks.
Yes.
But we don't want to. I know everybody says they want to see all the national parks, but then they don't go to any other parks.
Right.
But we want to do. That's just a kind of a big goal, but we would obviously love to see all of the park units, but that's
All the NPS sites.
that's like 420 some units. So we make it a goal whenever we go to some estate, a new place. We go to the national park that we want to see, but we also go to like a state park
You kind
around
of
it
scope
or
outside of it and see
park
what's
unit.
going on. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Exciting.
I think I have another goal
What is it?
to travel slower.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So yeah, so I think we have been better about it now, but
Yeah.
when we first started traveling, we would just go.
Yeah.
We would spend hardly any time in a park, and then we would just move on because we wanted to see so much.
Right, and there's so
But-
much to do, and you have so little time, it feels like, so you just want to get
Yeah.
there.
But now I think we're making it a point to stay at a park
Yeah.
for several days. You know, obviously we'd love to stay at a park for weeks, but realistically, the time
That would
we
be the
have
goal.
At one time, we just try to spend like a few days in a park. So I think those are mine. Do you have any other things to add, or is
But
that?
I have a travel goal that I'm going to be accomplishing it next month.
Oh, like a bucket list item.
Yes.
Okay, what is that?
Rock climbing.
We're gonna be rock climbing
Yes.
in the desert. Won't say exactly where.
No,
You'll
but
find out.
you're gonna see it when it happens.
Yeah, we're rock climbing in the desert. Really excited.
Very
So.
excited. All right, my turn this
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
All right. What is it, Coco? Oh, what are some overrated travel destinations in the USA, and what about underrated?
Okay. Overrated?
So, yeah.
Let's go underrated first, because that's the easiest. There
we
are a
have
lot
the
of.
same top pick for the underrated.
What's yours?
I'm gonna say Gunnison.
Black Canyon of the Gunnison.
Yes,
I would say that is definitely underrated.
because that would be one of my favorite parts.
We went to we did like a Colorado National Parks road trip, and we went to the Rocky Mountains, Black Canyon of the Gunnison, Great Sand Dunes. There we were basically alone at Black Canyon of the Gunnison.
Yeah.
And it was in October, so I wouldn't say it was peak season, but
No, but it was still like an ideal time to go.
yeah, that park really blew me away. I
Yeah.
think the visitation statistics should be way higher on that than.
Well, it's
than
just
it
because
is.
it's so far away from
That's what it is.
everything else. Like
Yep.
to
It-
get there, and I mean it's a smaller park, but it takes a few hours to get there.
That's what it is. It's a small
Mhm.
park, and it's far from like
People
a
want
big
to go
city.
to the Rockies, which is
Mhm.
fine, but Gunnison, there's something
Yeah.
magical about it.
Yeah, and we actually want to go back to Black Canyon of the Gunnison
Yes.
and go to the bottom.
Yes.
And yeah, we didn't have time for that when we went, but
Yeah.
we would love to hike down to the bottom. So if you guys know about this hike, it's not a
There's
it's not
no
act-
trail.
There's no trail. It is a steep climb from the rim to the
Bushwhack your
water.
way through.
Sorry, that was probably really loud in my
Bless
microphone.
you.
So I guess they're underrated. I think Michigan, the state in general, is
Yeah.
underrated. Like the UP,
Definitely.
I am constantly blown away by some of the things that they have up there in Michigan. It's a very underrated state. I know it's like not a specific location, but like I would say like Pictured Rocks and
Yes.
like Torch
Just-
Lake up there is
Oh,
like the
especially
Caribbean.
Torch Lake, yeah.
That's not the UP, I guess, but
But you wouldn't
Mackinac
think
Island.
that some of these, if you look up pictures of these places, you're like, wow, that's in Michigan. Like the fall
Tequamanon Falls?
colors. Yeah.
Tequamanon Falls, the Root Beer Falls, those are insane.
Insane waterfalls there.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe.
They have really cool waterfalls up in Michigan, and just pretty lakes.
Mhm.
So, and then what else would you say? Hocking Hills in Ohio.
If you haven't been there, you must.
Well, I guess it's not really underrated because whoever goes there, they know that it's awesome. But the thing is that people in the Midwest know what Hocking Hills is, but if you
Outside of there,
they don't know
you're
what
not
it
gonna
is.
know.
So I would say that's sort of underrated.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll think of more, but overrated. I can only really think of one place that was overrated in our opinion.
Yeah, for when it comes to our travels, yeah, we only came across one.
And that is Key West. And let me tell you why.
We're not hating.
No.
It's just overrated.
We drove, we took a Florida road trip. We went to all 3 national parks in Florida in January. And I guess technically, so the only way to get to Dry Tortugas National Park is to go all the way through the Keys and down to Key West. And then there's a ferry that takes off from Key West. So the problem was not Dry Tortugas. We actually loved that national park.
Yeah.
The problem was Key West. It is overcrowded, overpriced, and while it's pretty, I guess, we just weren't impressed.
Well, when you go there, we went there at like peak season for them.
We did.
Everybody flocks there in the winter, and they stay there for months. Us, we were just there for a few days, but it was busy.
Our campground was $110 a night, and that was the cheapest that we could find.
And she would be my camping neighbor. That's how close they were.
Yeah, the neighbors were so close to each other. Like we were talking.
He was inviting us over for dinner. I'm like,
Yeah.
Normally that sounds cool. But it's like, I've been driving for hours. I just want a night to myself.
So
It doesn't really happen.
we had to spend the night in Key West. That was the only option because the ferry left at 7 a.m. And then it was an all-day thing. So we really had to, the night before, we had to stay in Key West. So basically, I just thought Key West in general and the Keys might be a little overrated just because they're so popular and so
Right.
overpriced.
I mean, it's pretty, but I feel like you can get those views somewhere else too.
And that I was really looking forward to that drive down in
Me
Florida,
too.
but it wasn't what I
It's
thought.
not worth it.
Well, it
Sorry.
was most of it was a 2-lane highway, and
construction.
yeah, there was a lot of construction. It was like 40 mile an hour the whole time, so it kind of took hours to get
Yeah.
through the Keys, which
It wasn't as glamorous as
Yeah.
you were hoping.
But the national park, it's worth it to go down there.
Yes.
But maybe I would fly into Key West. I would see what that would be, which
True.
probably is expensive, but
I mean, it's definitely worth it to check out if you haven't, but
yeah, Dry Tortugas is.
Yeah.
But yeah, any other overrated, underrated?
not yet.
I guess North Cascades is underrated because that's a pretty
That is.
that a lot of people don't go to that park. So I
True,
don't know
they
if
go
it's a
to the
little bit more
surrounding
remote.
areas.
Yeah. Okay, we can do another
Alright.
one because I did
Taking
too.
over.
Do you want me to let her go?
Okay.
See if she'll get this
What are
done.
your favorite travel experiences so far?
Woo. Okay. Off the top of my head, zip lining in Crater Lake was
Oh yeah.
so it exceeded my expectations because I was actually kind
You
of
were
nervous.
kinda.
I was really nervous. I didn't know. I think I had it. I don't think I've been ziplining before, so I thought it was one of those things where you like are a straight drop.
Yeah.
But no, it was like we just glided really fast through the mountain, through the trees,
Yeah,
and we
it was
actually
so
did some.
cool.
We did some rappelling too.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say that was one of my top experiences.
That was a lot of fun.
Kayaking Lake Powell in Arizona, like through Antelope Canyon, that was a highlight. Definitely want to go back and do more exploring there, because again, back then we didn't really
Spin Canyon.
we didn't spend a lot of time in
Yeah.
places. Yes. Any of your favorite experiences?
The ziplining was incredible.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yes. I'm sure we'll be adding more. Your favorite wasn't snorkeling and Biscayne?
Choking on salt water? No, thank you.
We want to try
And
snorkeling.
almost dying from a little fish that he caught
So
inches away from me.
yeah, we could tell that story. So we went to Biscayne National Park, which is in Florida, and basically the only thing to do there is to get in the water because the park is on
It's like 95% water.
95%
so.
water. So we we got like a tour guide and we went out and went snorkeling, and there was only 4 of us, including us, on the boat. So they let us choose where we wanted to go, and we thought, oh, that's
kinda
cool. So we chose to go on the shore to try, like, obviously we went like miles into the ocean, but we went
Right.
on like an island, and we said one of the shores would be great. We had a specific place in mind. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. We went over there, and he said it was too choppy. Like the clarity of the water wouldn't have been good. So what did he do? He dumped us in the middle of the ocean for our very first time snorkeling.
Yeah.
All of us on board, it was our first time, and he just dropped us in the middle of the ocean. So He gave us pool noodles to like.
That was genius. I
Yeah.
didn't think of that.
To kind of. Not that we have trouble swimming, but we were just trying to enjoy the experience.
When you're-
so,
I
but
thought that was choppy water. I don't know what he was talking about.
we got mouthfuls of salt water and.
FYI, if you're going snorkeling and you have glasses, you have to tell them ahead of time so they can give you the proper fitting.
So you couldn't even really see.
I had to take my glasses off, so no, I couldn't see anything.
And I got really seasick.
Yeah.
But I want to give it another shot because snorkeling, from what I saw, it was so cool. So I
And I
would
want to be able to
definitely
see.
give it another try.
Yeah.
Maybe in freshwater,
We'll try that out.
like a Florida spring or something. All right, so next question. Night hiking looks epic. What do I need and how do I do it? Okay, I have a blog post on this topic. I'll link it below, but I will give you a few tips right now. First, I would say you gotta hike a familiar trail. So your first time hiking in the dark, if you want to go and see a sunrise or a sunset, you're gonna have to hike in the dark. So if you hike a familiar trail, you're gonna know sort of the layout of the trail and it'll be easier to navigate. I think a lot of beginners who are night hiking try something where there's like they're not familiar with it. They go somewhere where there's like a really dense forest or there's like dangerous river crossings or rock scrambles, exposed trails. You don't want any of that because especially for your first time, that's fun to get into maybe later
You
down
want
the road.
something
But
familiar.
yeah, so like actually our first time hiking in the dark wasn't a trail we were familiar with, but it was a really short hike. I think it was Mesa Arch in
And not only
Canyons.
that, but there was obviously crowds, so we could all kind of help navigate.
Yeah, but the trail we only had to hike like a quarter of a mile
Yeah, it
to
wasn't
get to the
very long
arch,
at all.
so we were and it wasn't anything like exposed or dangerous.
Mhm.
So I'm looking at my blog now just to kind of give you a few tips. Oh yeah, hiking with a full moon is helpful. If that gives you like an extra source of light. So if you have the flexibility, check the moon schedule and I would say hike with a group, hike with at least one other person so that
Have a hiking buddy.
it's just safer that way. And then last I would say bring a headlamp. Your phone flashlight won't do. You're gonna need something hands-free, so put a headlamp around your head to give you some light. And then use the red light setting if you want to keep.
That's smart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you can, especially when you're around other people. If
Just so you don't
you're gonna-
blind
you're
them,
gonna
but you
blind
can
them,
still see.
and you'll be able to keep your vision a little bit.
Yeah.
So anyway, hopefully that helps. I'll link my full blog post.
Yeah, check it out. Alright, question. I want to fly across the country and visit a bunch of national parks, but I'm not sure how to plan a trip like this. Where do I even begin?
Whew.
That is a big question.
Okay, that is a big question. I love planning trips almost as much as I love actually going on the trip. So
She plans all of ours, so
I
this
do.
is right up your alley.
So I can tell you how I plan my road trips, and then maybe you can get some pointers from this. But so I think what I do first is I pick a destination that I really want to see. Usually for us it's a national park. Usually multiple national parks. So for instance, I'll base it on our Pacific Northwest
That's great.
road trip last year. So what I did was I said that I want to visit all of the Washington and Oregon national parks. So I wanted to go to Crater Lake, North Cascades, Mount Rainier, and Olympic. So what I did is I went to Google Maps and I mapped out a route kind of to see where we'd be going, how long it would take, and then from there I would do some research like through blogs
Find what
and
trails you want to do,
Yeah.
what you want to see there.
Yep, and also adding in other places along the way. So, like, if I was doing some research, for instance, I was doing research on the parks, and I saw about the Oregon coast,
Yes.
and we were like, oh, we want to do that.
It's like
So-
must-see things
Yeah.
that you want to do in the area.
So then I would plug in on Google Maps what I wanted to add and see if it was worth it. Kind of map out my whole road trip, but adding places, taking away places, depending on if it made sense.
Yeah.
And then I think next I booked maybe booked the flight first.
The
Just-
flight was first,
yes.
and then we went.
because I got to make sure we can get there. And a rental car usually comes with the flight that we book.
And
So
that's when you can start booking your campsites or wherever you're staying.
yes. So for national parks, you can start booking your campsite 6 months in advance. The more popular parks, like the ones I just listed, are all going to get sold out like really fast.
Oh, it was instant when we were booking that.
Yep. So we went in
Like
July.
10 a.m. better be on that site.
Yep. So 6 months ahead of the date, we went online and we. Sorry that the phone is acting funny. Okay. So we went on recreation.gov. We booked our campsites exactly on the dot, and we almost lost them. It was very stressful.
But I think it was kind of fun for you.
I mean, it is. Yeah, it's very competitive. Mount
part of the
Rainier and
thrill.
North Cascades were both insane. And then we planned on backcountry camping in Crater Lake, so we didn't need anything for that. Olympic, we were backcountry camping. So you got to plan, I think, how you're going to get there first. Or you're going to plan your road trip first, and then how you're going to get there, and then start booking the accommodations. If you're more camping or hotel.
Depending on what your needs are, what you
yeah.
want to do.
Yeah, and
obviously, what's most important is food.
Yeah, make sure you have food. I would definitely say if you're going to plan a road trip, even if you're going across the country, bring your food because it will definitely save you a lot of money. Instead of buying everything there, like you can, we'll go to REI and we'll buy our fuel there or bear spray if we need it, but because we can't take that on the plane.
Right.
But for things that you can take on the plane, I would definitely recommend just getting that. Then not only are you saving money, but you're also, when you get there, you're not just spending a bunch of time in the stores. So.
Right.
Hope that kind of helps.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it was all the basic stuff that you need, and then whatever you need to do.
Google Maps to plan your route, flight, rental car, and then your accommodations.
Anytime I walk into your office, there's always Google Maps because I'm like, okay, where are we going next?
Well, I guess you have to plan your activities as well in the park. Did we say that? Anyway,
No, we didn't.
Make sure you know what you want to do.
Hiking trails, any sort of zip lining you may want to do.
Activities that you need to book in advance. You just have to make sure to do that before.
Yes.
So. Okay, how many more questions we got here? A lot. We might do like 2 more.
We might have to do, a
Two
couple
more.
more.
Okay.
Maybe another video.
I love hiking, but I can't stand hiking in the rain. Do you have any tips for me? Oh yes. First of all,
I don't like being wet either, so I totally get that.
But I gotta say, the reason why I love hiking in the rain is because you are not going to deal with all the people that you will.
That's true.
In a regular, like, sunny, beautiful day.
No people,
So,
but more bugs potentially.
Well, yes. And so I'm gonna just pull up my blog post here because I have that.
rain gear that you could get.
Yeah, I have a blog post on tips for hiking in the rain that I'm just gonna pull up just so I, give you a few now. So prep your gear for the rain. So for your backpack, we have a rain cover on it. Usually with most backpacks, they come with it. There's usually underneath the backpack, and then you just put this rain cover over it, so everything inside is waterproof now. Like, you're not going to get rain on all your stuff. They do sell like stuff sacks, like dry sacks that you can put if you want extra. If it's going to rain super hard, you might need extra protection.
Yeah.
But oftentimes, if you're hiking in the forest, you might not even really feel the rain.
That's true, because we've done that before, and the trees block a lot of it out.
They do,
so.
But if you're like on an exposed trail or something, then obviously. Wearing the right clothes is important, so you're going to need a rain jacket, rain pants, depending on the weather. So if it's a cold rain, you're going to want more layers because you could risk hypothermia. So getting a good rain jacket, rain pants, waterproof hiking boots, and wool socks. Yeah.
Nobody wants wet feet.
No. Picking the right trail, so I mentioned this in my blog, but certain trails are better to hike in the rain and certain are better not, especially for beginners. So I would say hiking these trails in the rain would be good.
Because you don't want to be steep and like falling down and slipping.
Yeah.
You want to be careful.
You want to hike more of the forest, lake trails, maybe some waterfall hikes if the river isn't flooded, because then the waterfalls are flowing.
I was going to say, that's so pretty.
Just hike shorter trails. So I would avoid the trails with water crossings like rivers and streams because those can technically flood. And then mountain summit hikes because we were gonna hike, for instance, Mount Storm King.
Yes.
In Washington, and we decided not to because of the rain, not because we weren't prepared for the rain, but because the zero visibility up there would have been, you would have hiked all that way and then not had a view.
Nothing. It's like,
so if you are there for the views, don't hike mountain summit hikes in the rain usually. But who knows? After a rainstorm, you can get like really good views.
That's true.
So if you have patience, maybe hike those. I don't. Okay, so I think one more thing would say pack easy snacks. Like make it so you don't have to prepare like a jet boil meal or something on the trail. Make sure you just have it like easily accessible. You can have like an easy snack that's already made or a meal that's already made.
Yeah, that's a good.
Like trail mix, protein bars, sandwiches. Yeah, so
I
that
think
helps.
I think that sums it up pretty well.
Last question,
All
ma'am, for now.
right.
For now.
We have so many.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
This is a good one to end with.
All right, bucket list things to do in Tennessee.
Whew. So we just moved to Tennessee a year ago, a little over a year ago. So we
Yes.
have been doing things pretty much nonstop since we moved here. So I think we have a pretty good idea
I would
of
say.
what we. So I would say definitely the synchronous fireflies in the Smoky Mountains is a bucket list item.
That is a once in a lifetime thing.
The tricky part is it's a lottery system, so a lot of people don't get in, even if they try to apply. So we were fortunate enough. We reached out to some rangers there, and they let us volunteer
Yes.
for the whole event. We got to choose the day that we wanted to go, and we got to. So we helped with the event. We helped people park and then get on the trail to where you see the fireflies, and then when we were done, we got to go and see the fireflies, and it was unreal.
Yeah.
Like I posted videos about it, but it just doesn't do it
It's
justice
so much
because I
better in
wasn't
person.
prepared for the video
Yeah.
part of it, but it was so insane. So I think we're gonna try to do that every year.
I want to volunteer every year, which
Yeah.
you should too.
Yes. What other bucket list things would you say? That somebody comes to Tennessee, what do they got to do? We're just biased against the Smoky Mountains because we live right by it and we love it. But
Oh.
I would say you have to bike Cades Cove.
Yeah.
If you're gonna you gotta go to the Smoky Mountains. You gotta bike Cades Cove on a vehicle-free Wednesday in the summer. Blog post on that too. I have blog posts on all this stuff.
Of course, there's Gallenberg, Pigeon Forge,
Mhm.
do all the touristy things.
You gotta go to Ruby Falls in Chattanooga.
Oh my gosh,
Lookout Mountain and Ruby Falls. It's basically an underground waterfall. I think it's one of the tallest in the world.
It's
that's
really
underground.
pretty though. That's
Um,
the colorful waterfall.
Yes,
right?
so you book
Yeah.
a tour and they take you down into the caves and you see this huge waterfall. I can't remember the exact height, but it's like 150 feet
It's
or
massive.
so. Maybe it's more. I hope I'm not butchering that. But yeah. What else? I would say state parks wise, Fall Creek Falls.
So we've been to a few. Cummins Falls.
Cummins Falls. Hiking to the base of Cummins Falls is bucket list worthy. Paddling to the base of Burgess Falls. That was one of the very first things
that was
we
one
did.
of your bucket list items.
It has been on my list because we've been to Burgess Falls, but we didn't get to. I wanted to get down to the bottom of the falls. I'm like, how do you do that? I wanted to
How did we
hike.
get there? How do we get there?
How do I get there? I thought there was a way to hike to it, but there's not. You have to take a 4-mile round trip paddle to
It's
the
not
base
as
of
bad
falls.
as it sounds.
It's not, and so yeah, that's something you got to do.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah. So anyway, that was part 1 of our Q&A. We still have like
There's so
questions.
many in here, so keep them
But
coming.
yeah, if you got more questions, just put them in the comments or go on Instagram and DM me at Alexis Abroad, and then we can add it to this, and then we'll just
Cute
keep,
little canister.
yeah, we'll just keep adding into it, and then doing more videos for Q&A. So if there's anything else you guys want to know, or need any advice on camping, hiking, traveling, anything like that,
Just comment below, let us know.
all right, for now, see you guys.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.